can be expensive. So if you need advice, maybe ask a comedian. Comedian Jenny Hagel has a show in Portland on Sunday called Jenny Hagel Gives Advice, and she joins me now with a preview. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Okay, so tell us exactly what's going to happen on Sunday, and how did you come up with this idea?
Great question. So I have a deep personality flaw, which is that I'm obsessed with giving people advice. I don't know why I'm like this, but if I have a thing in my head that I think might be helpful information to someone that might help them in some way, I have to blurt it out. And so it's like a design glitch in my brain. And so at one point I thought, let me channel all this into a show. So the way my show, Jenny Hagel Gives Advice, works is that when audiences come in, everybody gets a couple blank index cards and a ballpoint pen. And there's some buckets up on the stage that say like job advice, family advice, love advice. And people can write down questions that they have before the show, put them in the buckets. And then throughout the show, myself and another guest, usually another comedian, will pull questions out of the buckets at random and do our best to give advice. And then at the end of the show, a real live human therapist comes on stage and tells us if we did a good job or not.
And I understand there's a speed round. What is that?
That's right. Well, sometimes you want a deep, thoughtful answer to your question, and sometimes you just want the person to get right to it. So towards the end of the show, right before the therapist comes out, we put 5 minutes on a clock, and we just try to answer as many questions as we possibly can, because sometimes you want to go through a whole lengthy journey of the human spirit. And sometimes you read a question and you just want to say, get a divorce.
I love that. What is the strangest thing you've ever been asked?
Someone one time put a question in the bucket that said, I found out my mom is moving to Europe from Zillow. What should I do?
Well, I was going to ask you what's the funniest thing you've heard, but those are the same things, I think. But what are some other good ones?
Let's see. I think I've had one time there was a question. Someone said, at my company, when you've worked there for 5 years, you get a desk by the window. And I passed my 5-year mark and no one gave me the desk. Should I take action? And what made me laugh was how serious they were and the possible chaos and violence implied by should I take action?
What did you tell them?
I was just like, what? I think you need to, what I really did say was, I think there's two things happening here. The fact that the 5-year mark has passed and you should get a new desk, and the fact that you are so deeply angry about it. We got to pull those two things apart. And maybe this is just an email to whoever's in charge of desks. They probably just missed the date. And you can say, hey, man, about that desk. And then you also separately, you need to deal with your seething, boiling rage.
I get it, though. We had to fight for our window, so I understand this person.
When you work in an office, little things matter sometimes. They really do.
And you are turning all of this advice into a book. Is that right?
That's right. I've got a book coming out June 2nd called Advice No One Asked For. It's available for pre-sale now. But it really is. It's exactly that. I really do enjoy giving advice. I like the book is a series of essays, and the essays are about a lot of different things that I feel like I've kind of either lived through or learned in my life, and then nestled in each essay is a little piece of advice because I cannot help myself.
And people probably know you because you are a writer and performer on Late Night with Seth Meyers. You two seem like you have a lot of fun together.
Yes, it's a fantastic place to work. He's truly the best boss I've ever had. It's a real delight to be able to get to do this for a living and to genuinely enjoy it.
Do you give him advice?
Never. I would never be so bold. He has a really, really long and impressive career, and he has lived longer than me. I feel confident I have nothing to impart upon him.
I heard that dig, though, in there that he's lived longer than you. Okay, Jenny's show is this Sunday at Curious Comedy Theater. You can get tickets on her website. It's right there on your screen. Thank you so much. I have to ask one more question real quick. What's your track record? You said you have a therapist there. What grade do they usually give you?
Great. I usually land solidly in the B+ to B range. One time I got an A, and one time I got a C. So please bear all that in mind as you show up to the theater on Sunday.
I mean, that's not too bad. That's a pretty good average.
For someone with no degree in psychology who just read the first 3 paragraphs on the Wikipedia entry for the word psychology, and that's what she's going with, I think I'm doing okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, it sounds so much fun. Thanks for joining us today, Jenny.
Thank you very much for having me.